Welcome back to the Fully Under podcast. Today we're going to be talking about some insecurities, causes of these insecurities, who caused them, have we gotten over them? I'm not sure. Asia, take it away.
Hey everyone. So, first and foremost, I kind of want to touch on this because recently, as you all know, my mom was staying with me during her recovery from her surgery. She is back home, thankfully. She is doing well. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound rude. I'm just saying this is kind of why this topic came up in my head. So, my insecurity regarding my weight stems from my mother. A lot of insecurities that I have actually stem from my mother. So, um, first and foremost, I think in the Hispanic culture, although my mom is not really Hispanic, but we were raised Hispanic, we were raised here in El Paso, so I consider ourselves to be Hispanic. As we, I mean, we're pretty much from a Spanish descent anyway. So, um, anyway, being raised in a Hispanic culture, I think a lot of times the women or mothers don't realize how much of an influence they have on their daughters. Or sometimes, words that they use um, are taken differently than what they actually mean. So, what I mean by that is, even till this day, my mom, if I don't have makeup on, I don't have my hair done, she constantly makes remarks like, go paint your face, why don't you do your hair? Um, and I tell her, like, I'm not trying to impress anybody, I don't give a damn. But more recently, too, she's made little comments, about like, not necessarily my weight, but she'll make comments like, oh, you're eating, or oh, you're eating again.
Yes, it's essential.
And I'm like, I kind of need to. It's lunchtime already, or it's dinner time. Um, Mind you, when I was growing up, my mom actually was very heavy. She was very, very heavy, very overweight when she was married to my dad. She had six children, but she was very heavy. And when she divorced my dad, she did lose a lot of weight. Um, Mostly because we were walking everywhere in California. We didn't have a car, so that'll do it. And then aside from that, she did get diagnosed with diabetes. That played a huge factor because I've noticed that a lot of people with diabetes fluctuate in weight. So that did take a toll on her, so now she's very thin. Um, Not necessarily healthy, but she's thin. And to this day she still makes little comments. Or she'll, I don't even know if she realizes how hurtful or triggering her words are. She even mentioned something the other day that my sister was at my house, and my sister and I both looked at each other because we both felt it. And my mom was so nonchalant. She told my sister, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you got so big. You've never been this big." And I'm like, my jaw dropped, and I looked at my sister, and my sister's like, "Well, thank God I'm mentally stable because my God, I would have probably offed myself right
Yep. And you know, I've been victimized by your mom as well a
Yes.
couple times. I'm not sure if any of like my male cousins have either, but I think, well, to my
Yeah.
knowledge, oh, okay. I guess so. We're all
Mhm.
victims here. I remember one specific time where she picked up my pants because I hung them out to dry, and and she's like, "Oh my god, these are big. Are these yours?" She was so dramatic about it, and I was like, "Yes, they are, my lady. Thank you." And I aggressively, but not aggressively, pulled them away. Uh, I'm like, yes, I know. At the time, yeah, my pants were really big. They're still pretty big now. I feel like they're probably pretty average for men my size. But I was like, lady, there's some people who just don't have filters.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it tends to happen in older individuals and obviously younger individuals who don't have that filter any longer or to start out with.
My child.
That's kind of in the middle where you learn to have like a filter. Some people don't. Some people don't, and it is what it is. But some people just don't think before they speak.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't even mean it as like a mean way. It's just the first, it's the first thing that they comes to mind, unfortunately. Um, I don't think my mother has ever made me feel like that insecure about my body. There's sometimes that I'm like, why would you do that? But it wasn't like intentional. But like when she would be like, no, I think you can fit into like a large or extra large, and I was bigger than a large or an extra large, and I'm like, I already told you I don't fit into
Oh,
a
honey,
large.
you never need a bigger size.
Suck it in. No, but but I was happy that she brought me smaller sizes, in a way flattered. But I was also like, girl, I'm not gonna fit into that. Wish I could, but I can't. Well, until recently, now I can fit an
Hair
extra
flip.
large. Now I'm a skinny queen, and nobody can see me. Um, where's the waist? Haven't seen her. We should make a police report. I don't know. Uh, 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 another thing that I've been insecure about probably like my whole life, and even now I talk about it a lot, is I have fat in the back of my head, like on top of my neck. I don't like it, and people are gonna say I'm horrible, but I call it a headgina because it looks horrible. And I started noticing it
Oh
when
my god.
um not started noticing it at the time, but like it made it very apparent when my um one of my cousin's children came up behind me and went swipe and like put his finger like
Oh my god.
in between like really fast, and I was like, you're done. And I haven't stopped thinking about it since. So
Oh
that's an
my
insecurity that has
god.
stayed with me. I do want to get it surgically removed because no matter how much weight I've lost about 50 pounds already, and it still seems to me like it's a big issue. So I'm not sure if even if I do lose the weight, if like it'll still be there in some capacity. Um, and I wanted to look into getting it removed. I don't know how that works, but gonna try looking into it for future just to see if it can be removed. So that way it's not that big of an insecurity. And you know what? Yeah, I would change my body to make it look how I want. That's not a problem. Okay, as long as everything's proportionate. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, and going back to my insecurities, so obviously number one is my weight. My weight has fluctuated throughout all of my years. Even when I was thinner, when I was younger, I was very thin, and I always just had that stuck in my head that I was fat. Literally, even when I was a size zero, size three, I literally had this stuck in my head. And it's so crazy because I actually came across a clip of Lizzo speaking on this, but she said, I get now that she lost all this weight, she said that she feels her fattest. And she said, I don't think people realize, but it's a feeling. It's not actually like how you look or perceive yourself, but it's literally a feeling. And she was saying that she felt her best when she was heavier. And I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy because I remember being so much thinner and so insecure about my weight. And now when I look back to pictures, I'm like, God, please take me back. Please take me back. I won't act up. I promise. Just kidding.
Same. I think in 2021, when we
Yeah.
had both lost weight,
Mm-hmm.
I think I was at my, I would say I was at my thinnest. Um, and during that time, I did feel the confidence to like be more photogenic and
Mm-hmm.
be in group pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's how I felt
Um,
too.
but I also still had like sort of like a body dysmorphia. Like I still saw myself as a certain way, and
Yeah,
it's like
me too.
hard to get out of. Even now that I've lost a lot of weight, like I said, about 50 pounds, it like it's hard for me to see, even though like even the doctor has told me like you're doing such a good job with what you're on right now. Keep doing it. I see that you've lost weight since our last visit. It's still hard for me to see and still like get used to it, even though I have like the pant sizes to prove it or the shirt sizes to prove it. There's always that deep insecurity that stays with you, like when you lose weight. uh I was a fat kid all through elementary school. This goes dark. But yeah, I've been like a pudgy kid since uh what grade was I in? Probably about like let's say like me like third, fourth grade. I think second grade I was getting really close. Um, so I was a pudgy kid for a while, up until I think probably around freshman year. I lost a little weight, but then I gained it back. It is what it is. I like to eat. That's the problem.
Same.
I don't like. I have a
Same
food
here.
addiction. I think addiction runs in our family. We talked about it before,
Yeah.
where like it's just an addictive personality that I think runs in our family. Or it could be alcohol, it could be food, it could be people. I feel like I am addicted to food. That is the hardest thing for me to give up and
Same.
to stay away from, especially because I like to eat food when I'm emotional. Any kind of
Yeah, me
emotion
too.
when I'm mad, I'm happy, sad, whatever the
Mhm.
case is. My first thought is like food. Let's celebrate food. I'm
Yeah.
mad. Let me comfort myself
Yeah.
with food. Um, and I was like, dang, why can't I just be addicted to liquor?
Right?
But it is what it is.
Yeah, and so literally like I said, I think from just my childhood, my mom always making comments. It just stood with me until now. It still does, and like I said, she still makes little comments
I was
here
gonna
and
say it's
there.
probably because she hasn't stopped.
Yeah, she hasn't, and it's a little upsetting though, I'll tell you, because again, my mom used to be very heavy, although she wants to deny that. Honey, we were there. We all know. We all saw. Um, and so I think kind of what helps me kind of get through that is like my sister and I say, we sit here and we're like, girl, like how did you look when you were our age? Or, me, I have five children. She had six. My mom, not my sister. My sister has two, but um I I kind of do a little comparison. I know I shouldn't, but that's kind of what gets me by. Like, well, you didn't look like me when you had five kids, you know? So that's kind of what kind of helps a little. And I will say that one of my other sisters actually has said offensive comments too. And I don't know if she'll recall anyway, but she has made little comments. And my sister, that was, here over the weekend, the one that I mentioned, that my mom had made a comment, she actually we actually started talking about this that years back when I don't know, I was maybe in my early 20s. Um my sister made a comment because my husband is very thin, and obviously if I put on any weight, obviously I look so much bigger than him, right? Cuz he's so thin.
It's such an unfair comparison, though.
Well, anyway, she made a comment, and I don't even remember what exactly she said, but my other sister got really offended, and she was like, you're always saying comments about, me and her, but how did you look when you were our age? And my sister literally
Hmm.
stood back and was like, oh, well, I used to be fat. She's like, exactly. So stop saying shit about us. At least we look decent.
Catch
And I
that tea.
wasn't even big at the time.
No, and I also
Right.
think that it's right because there has been different, like, what am I looking for? Different eras of body image,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Where back in the early
Yep.
2000s, I remember the the beauty standard back then was very, very thin, very thin.
Yeah.
And even like on America's Next Top Models, those girls are very thin
You have to be
and
like size
looking.
3 or below.
Yep, size three or below.
Literally.
And if you were over size three, which isn't big at all,
No.
they're like, "How does it feel to be a plus size model?" I remember seeing one of those TikToks where they call this woman a plus size model, and I swear you could fit like three of her in my fucking jeans. Like, and that at the time was plus
Yeah.
size, and like times change,
Yeah.
right? Where it became like the BB. I'm gonna call it the BBL style. BBL style, even if they didn't have a BBL, that was in
Mhm.
having like the curvy body, and I feel like unfortunately we're slowly going back into a super skinny era where um the standard of beauty is going back to really super thin, and there have been some celebrities that have said they're reversing their plastic surgery to be that thin again. Um,
That's insane.
and so like I hope it doesn't go completely back towards that way because that's kind of just
God,
taking
I
a
hope
step
not.
back. Because I'm gonna be super fast.
Me too.
I'm gonna go back like I just made it to fit
You
into
just made it
the.
to be accepted into a curvy
And
style.
I just made it into this beauty standard. Now you're gonna change it back, and I have to. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
No,
my god.
I personally don't conform to the beauty standards of our society. I don't think that's a good idea to do. I feel like if you're losing weight, it should be for you
Yeah.
and how you want to look,
Mhm.
not and it shouldn't be based off of other people's look or what's the
Yeah.
most popular right now. If you feel you want to be a certain size or want to look a certain way, do that. Stick to your own personal goals, but don't feel insecure if someone else is skinnier than you or someone else is a size or like a shape that you want because everybody's bodies is different.
Mhm.
Even if you lose the weight or even if you gain the weight, your body is going to be different from so and so's body.
Yeah, I don't even know if you remember when I was pregnant with my last son. Things that my mom would like little comments that she would
Oh
say.
yeah, I remember one about
My
your
god.
ring
Yeah,
that you had
so
on at the time,
yeah, I know. And
and
then
I
also
got
about my legs.
and I was like, she's just mad because your pussy pops are dull.
But literally, like, do not come for a pregnant woman. Do
Yeah,
not. That is so wrong.
yeah.
So wrong on so many
Leave
levels.
our pregnant girlies alone, okay?
Like, our bodies go through hell and a
Especially if you're
half.
a woman who understands what it's like to have a baby growing inside you. It's a whole other human being.
Yeah.
There's so much happening.
So much
I'm saying it like
sacrifice.
I've had a human being in my womb before. But just from experience, because obviously I was raised around a bunch of uh, women who have babies, and it's
Many, many babies.
many babies, and they share their experiences and how they feel during that time, and it's not for the weak. That you're
Mm-mm.
growing another human being inside you, and that changes your body, and it changes the
It
hormones in
changes
your body. It changes
everything.
everything.
Your fucking mentality, your brain cells, everything.
You know,
Literally.
and I feel like most of the time when people have something to say about other people, it's because they're not happy with themselves. I think that's
Yeah.
the oldest lesson in the book is they're feeling insecure about themselves in some way, and it somehow makes them feel better to point out other people's
Yeah.
flaws.
And it's so crazy because I'm a parent and I want to say that I'm opposite, completely opposite because I know what it feels like. And I'm very encouraging to my kids. If they want to lose weight, go for it. If they want to gain weight, go for it. You know, if they're just fine where they're at, that is completely fine. I will say that obviously there's certain things that I've changed with their diets while they were growing up because obviously because of their health, I wanted to make sure that they were growing healthy. Um and actually my kids were always either a little tiny bit underweight or right at the perfect weight um for their age and their height. Um but I would always want them to be a little heavier, not necessarily overweight, but just a little heavier, a little bit more meat. So I would even give them like extra protein shakes, kid protein shakes, safe for kids. No, I'm not a crazy parent. I would always make sure that they had proper nutrition. Like maybe they weren't eating right because let's be honest, we have picky ass toddlers. I'm going through that phase with my 6 year old. He's super picky. So I always want to make sure that I still incorporate something additional just to like a supplement that he's getting the nutrition that he needs, you know, and vitamins and all the shebang. Um, but I have one daughter and I always compliment her and it's funny because she's just like, oh my gosh, like or she makes little comments like, no, I'm ugly or no this or this and I'm like, stop. But I make sure to compliment her because I know what it feels like and as a parent, your children are the most beautiful thing ever. They're absolutely perfect, or at least that's how I think of my children. Obviously, clearly, my mom didn't think that about me or some of my siblings, but that's how I am as a parent. My kids are perfect in their own way, you know, and in their own image, the way that God made them. Um, and I really hate kind of where my mentality I can't even talk, mentality is, because I don't think that it'll ever get away from me. Ever again. My mom used to make these comments when I was very thin. So now I'm like, well, now that she says it, I believe it,
Yeah.
obviously. But then, it was like, what? Like, shit. I've even told you, like, I think I have shallow L syndrome, where
Which is
I see
such a
myself.
stupid.
No, where
Well,
I
no,
see
it's not
myself, like,
stupid,
I
but
look in a mirror, right? Obviously, when I was thinner, and I'm like, okay, I think I look okay. And then when I hear these comments, I'm like, holy shit, I'm probably fucking huge, and it's just in my mind.
no, I have my days. Like, um, sometimes I'll look in the mirror and be like, "Hey, who are you?" And then sometimes I'm like, "Oh, you fat fucking bitch."
I say horrible things to myself. I'm not
Yeah,
even gonna lie.
and I think
Horrible things.
people ask me what my motivation was this time around losing weight, and I said it's probably not a healthy way, and I don't think it. I should share with you because you'd probably become concerned, probably from my mental health. But um, here, my motivate. It's gonna sound so fucked up, you guys, and I'm fine. I swear I'm fine. Okay, I'm not mental. I'm fine. But my motivation during that time was literally anxiety about gaining the weight again. And it was
Mm-hmm.
a mixture of both because of my health, because and to make you understand that when I lost weight, it wasn't for aesthetics. It wasn't to make sure that I looked pretty for anybody else or that I was like, oh, you need to be skinny to feel good. No, it was my health. My blood pressure was up horribly, and I'm young, and I shouldn't have that high blood pressure at a young age. I shouldn't have a lot of the problems that I have at this young of age. I'm like
Same.
almost 25. I'm probably old fuck right now, but I shouldn't have these problems at this age, you know. Um, and I would have heart palpitations um, because of my weight, and I would be able to move comfortably because then I would be out of breath and I would feel uncomfortable. So there, and also when I laid down or if I was like inclined or just not sitting up straight, my double chin would choke the fuck out of me and try to strangle me, and then I would have been on like I don't know, snapped, and it was my own body trying killing me, or my own spine snapping. I had horrible back problems. My back was always in pain, um, and I always thought I slept wrong. No, it's because there's there's a lot weighing me down.
That's
um,
me with my knees.
so so there's certain health factors that you want to look into
Yeah.
to say that to put yourself where you're supposed to be, not just insecurities. Of course, I'm gonna lie to you if I say that I didn't have insecurities. I did, of course. Um, I wanted to. Basically, what I want to do is I want to look how I feel, and I feel sexy. I want to get that image of myself to appear on the outside and not just on the inside. Okay,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. But um what was I saying? Well, now that I've lost a lot of weight, I don't have as many back problems. I can breathe when I move my leg. Um, and my blood pressure has went down a lot. Um, and like I mentioned in the last episode, I my cholesterol's getting under control. And I feel better because of my health, and I feel good with the way that I look. Of course, do I still want to get rid of my vagina? Yeah. Um, and I think what you're insecure about, you have the power to work on,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like one of my insecurities that I had when I was mostly when I was a child in elementary school, my skin texture was a little different from other kids because I have eczema. And some people have like different varieties of
Yeah.
eczema. It looks different on everybody. Sometimes people
Hmm.
only have flare ups, or sometimes people just have, severely cracked skin that bleeds. I have what I want to describe as like goosebumps in a way, but it's just a bunch of bumps all over my skin, and it doesn't feel like smooth like most people's. Um, and obviously, it gets worse when it gets hot or cold, or when I'm eating something that I'm not supposed to be
Yeah.
eating. it flares up and it gets a little worse. And sometimes I
Hmm.
do get like patches and start to
No, that's how I
you
am
start
too.
you start
Like
scratching as I say
my
itch.
arms always look like they're burned. Like
Yeah.
there's a portion of my arms that look like they're just like sunburned,
Hmm.
and then I have like bumps, and then the rest of my body's fine, but it's my arms.
Yeah. So back then in elementary school, a lot of the kids that I knew they didn't have like
Yeah.
severe eczema, I guess. And so some kids would say like, "Oh, you have crocodile skin. That's so good."
Oh my
While I was
gosh.
thinking like, "Why are you calling me a crocodile?" Like they didn't like their kids. They didn't mean it in a messed up way, but also they don't know that when they say things like that, it
Yeah.
gets in your head, and you're
Yes.
like, "My skin's not normal. Should it feel like a crocodile? I don't know." Um, and so that insecurity as a kid, I was like,
That made me think of the Lubriderm commercial. I don't know if you're young or if you're old enough to remember.
I don't
They
think
used to
so.
have a commercial and there was a crocodile like crawling, and they would say to use like Lubriderm for crocodile skin. Sorry. I actually have some, but sorry.
I'm good. Well, now I take care of my skin. Back then I didn't. I wouldn't put lotion. I didn't care about like the body washes or the shampoo that I use because it just like it wasn't a big deal to me. Now I do use that and I do notice that something like some things feel better. My skin isn't that bad anymore. It doesn't flare up too much. My scalp feels better because I use certain products in my hair. I take care of my I've been doing a whole face routine so my skin on my face doesn't feel as weird. I don't feel as dry anymore. I feel moisturized. Um, but yeah, you have the power to change what you're insecure about in
Yeah.
a healthy way.
Hmm.
And there is one unhealthy way to think about getting rid of my fat. And tell me if you guys ever thought the same thing. But I literally thought like, hey, I can just grab a piece of fat and maybe just like cut it off with scissors or something. And I thought like that would make it go away. Please don't do
You
that.
ain't trimming a brisket here.
Don't do that. Don't think about doing that. I don't know why I thought that was gonna solve like all the issues in the world.
Yeah, no, I'd never thought that ever. But I will say, I thought if a dog tried to attack me, I'd turn and make him go for the stomach so I can like have reconstructive surgery. But I've never thought about cutting myself.
Not like that. Not like that. Hold on.
Cutting the fat off,
Yeah, like I literally thought like
sawing. Can
yeah,
you imagine?
like a brisket when you cut the fat
Yeah,
off the brisket.
exactly.
That's like the best way I could. I'm like, well, if we could do that.
Oh my gosh. No. No, no, no.
I used to have an insecurity with my voice.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes I
Uh-uh.
still sound like a middle-aged woman,
I don't give a
but
damn. I don't care.
well, it's because my voice was very feminine when like before I hit puberty. Like I sounded like a little girl.
Well, I think
Um,
most boys do.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no. Most boys
I just felt
do.
like mine was higher pitched, and even like when I did go through puberty, I still felt like mine was still higher pitched. I mean, let's admit it, guys. There's gay voice in the there's the deep voice. I can't do it. That hurts.
Oh my god.
Putting my quote unquote straight voice hurts.
Your
Straight
ma-
voice.
your man.
Yeah. All straight. Are you in good hands? Yeah. That's like a strain to do that. But if I can go higher pitched and that doesn't hurt that bad.
Yeah. I just thought about something like literally another person that has made me feel very insecure about my weight is my mother-in-law.
Oh.
Um so aside from my youngest child,
He makes me
but
feel very insecure.
yeah, my youngest child, God, that kid. Mm-mm. But anyway, my mother-in-law, and honestly, I don't know if she used to do this shit on purpose because let's be honest, there's some of those mother-in-laws that do shit intentionally. And it's funny because I had this conversation before with someone and I told them I could not see myself being a mother-in-law like that. Like I think I would be very encouraging to my daughter-in-laws, son-in-law. Um, I don't know, like that's your child's significant other. Like why would you treat them a certain way? I don't know. That's just my thought. But
Well, I ain't got to deal with it, so I'm good.
But I remember, and I was very thin again when I met my husband. I was very, very thin, and she would intentionally make comments like, "Oh, this doesn't fit me. It's too big." Mind you, she was not, obviously she's not a big lady, but she was bigger than me, and she's telling me that it was too big for her, so she would give it to me. And at that time I wore like a small, and it was like extra large. And I was like, what the fuck? And again, it literally made me question myself. Like, am I fucking seeing something that is really not there? Like, am I really big and I'm just not realizing it? And so I finally I literally told my husband one day, I just told him, I don't appreciate your mom doing this. Like, it needs to stop. I don't know what her intention is. Obviously, she's making me feel bad if that's what her goal is, but that's not cool. Don't be that mother-in-law. Um, and then, like, aside from that, obviously I've had some insecurities about sometimes when I have acne. Um, as as a preteen, I did have acne, and then it like went away. And believe it or not, I'm like, why the fuck are you coming back now? I'm too old for acne. Like, what the fuck? Go away. I'm too old for this shit. But sometimes I do have breakouts, especially like hormonal breakouts, and I cannot stand it. I hate it. But whatever, it is what it is. And that too is a little insecurity of mine, because sometimes I have, again, my mom or my mother-in-law making comments like, "Oh, you should use this on your face. It'll take pimples away," or this or this. And it's like, how do you go up to someone and just tell them like, you should do this for that because that doesn't look good? You know what I'm saying? Like, what gives you the fucking right to go up to someone and tell them some shit like
Mhm.
that? Or, "Oh, you should eat this or this and you'll lose weight." Like, what if I'm happy being a fat fuck, you know? Like, let me be. Shit. I don't get how people have that confidence to go up to another person and point out their blemishes, or I don't know, their insecurities or their imperfections, I should say, and think that it's okay to tell them, "Hey, I think let me suggest this for you." I wasn't asking for your fucking suggestion. And I just think that that's so wrong. It's so, so wrong. And people, don't be that person. Now, it's different if I were to be asking, "Hey, like, do you know anything that's good to get rid of acne?" Or, "Hey, do you know of a good diet?" Or, if you're asking, that's different, right? But if you're not, please, people, keep your mouth fucking shut and worry about your damn self. Worry about your own
Mhm.
imperfections before pointing out someone else's.
Mhm. 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 Just kidding. No, I think I really at the times that I don't get offended and I get like more so pissed off is when this person is like has no leg to stand on when they're telling you something.
Yeah,
Um, like
exactly.
there's been some people who comment about others and I'm like, girl,
Honey, let me hold a mirror up for you.
girl, let me hold your hand while I say this, okay? Um, you are not the prettiest baby in the world, okay? Let me remind you, you probably need to wax daily, okay? Look,
Yeah.
you Chewbacca looking ass. Do not be commenting about people when you look the way that you do,
Yeah.
okay? There's sometimes where there's just no leg to stand on,
Yeah.
okay? Not saying that people who look better deserve like to do any of that, but you definitely don't have.
But don't you realize that it's always
Well, yeah, it's always someone that doesn't look that
I
great
was gonna
because
say something, but then it sounds fucked up because I was just talking about my mom and my mother-in-law. But I was gonna say it's always the ugly ones. It's always the fucking ugly ones
I
making
was literally
comments.
saying like that. But
It really
yeah,
is.
but
And
yeah, it's
how
because
am
they're
I when
pointing
I
out.
go out? I literally compliment so many people. I just think that a compliment doesn't hurt but helps someone. Like, if I see shoes that I love, if I see a hairstyle, a hair color, somebody's makeup, somebody's outfit, the way that they look, I compliment people all the time. Girls, I compliment females especially, because sometimes we just need that little extra little boost, like, I don't know. Like, girls, let's just hype one another up. That's just how I am. I see a beautiful girl and I'll straight up tell her like, "Oh my god, you're so beautiful." or and my daughter hears this too, when I say that about girls, or even some of her friends, that I'm like, oh my god, she's so pretty, or oh my god, I love her hair, or whatever. And I'm teaching my daughter how to be that girl, which I hope she is.
Every
I
time I compliment a girl, I feel like I have to do the hand gesture. That's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah. I
before
get you.
like you get like creeped out.
Or before your man.
Before your man comes and tries to beat up on me, because I called you beautiful, hand flick, hand flick. Yes, queen, yes. Um,
But what I was gonna say too, like as a parent, again, like I don't know. This is like if I could say to another parent, or hell, if my mom ever happens to fucking listen to this podcast, one thing that a parent should be doing,
it's minding your
especially
fucking business. Just shut up.
stop.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Don't be saying that thing that comes to your damn mind. Just shut
You make
up.
me throw up.
Unless it's positive. And don't be justifying your little fucking head being like, if I tell her this, I am her savior. Okay? Don't do that. Don't justify a mean ass you know what mean comments are. Don't lie to yourself. Just shut the hell up and mind your business. And if she wants to eat, let her eat. I can't with you.
Dude, and it's so crazy because, like, you saying that, I literally will tell my kids, like, get more food, get more. I will say my little one, my littlest one, sometimes he wants to overeat, and I'm like, baby, you need to stop because your stomach's gonna hurt. Because his stomach, he
No,
gets
yeah.
like a
If it's
tummy
like a
ache.
health issue, then
Well, no,
yes,
he
you have
gets a
every right.
tummy ache, and he's like, I want to throw up, and I'm like, no, you're not throwing up on my sheets.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, if it's
but
like
I'm
a
that parent that's like, oh, get more, get seconds,
well,
everybody
and it's
get
because you're
more food.
concerned. Like I feel like yes, of course, if a parent is generally concerned with an unhealthy
Yeah,
like choice that you're making, then they can say like in the nicest way possible. You don't have to be rude about it.
yeah.
You could be like, hey, maybe that's not the best choice for you. Maybe try eating some greens, perhaps a salad.
Okay, but what I was trying to say
Sorry.
before you went off on a rant is that as a parent, you should be encouraging, especially your daughters, to be their most natural selves, to accept themselves the way that they naturally are, and the beauty in that. Um,
Yeah, because it's your fault in the first place, bitch. Just kidding. Just kidding.
but what I'm saying is that, like my mom, like you shouldn't have been encouraging me to wear makeup, or oh, do your hair, do your makeup because I'm not enough. Like, no, fuck that. Tell your daughter you're fucking beautiful the way you are. And that's just me. Like that's me. Um I see my daughter, she does any makeup, and I tell her, honey, the longer you can go without using makeup, let it be. Because then you're gonna look like me. You can't reverse that shit. But seriously, that's just my advice to you parents. Seriously, love your kids as they are, and make sure that they feel secure and safe. You're their parent. You should be the number one person that they feel safety and comfort from, not um kind of like being closed off or being afraid or being insecure around you, because that's how I feel every time I'm around my mom. Honestly, I feel so fucking insecure. Like I make sure that I like cover myself because I'm like, this bitch is over here looking, and I'm like, girl, you're not doing that to me. Um,
Gotta put my red lipstick on before I go into that house. She catches me with that
but
lipstick.
seriously,
She's
and
gonna
you
be
know
like,
what? Some of my other sisters would agree with me. They know how it feels to be body shamed by our mother. And my dad was not like that. My dad, again, my dad was a great man. He always, just made us feel beautiful. Like, you're beautiful, Um, yeah, he never made me feel insecure ever. Ever, ever. He was funny as hell, like, would make little comments, but they were funny, and it wasn't to shame us. But yeah,
my dad
definitely.
wouldn't either, but he was definitely the supplier, and that's why I got chubby as shit.
He was the one making all that food.
All them damn, and
Your
granted,
dad
of
can
course, like,
cook. He
no, he
can cook.
can. He just
Mm-mm.
didn't. He would just be like, Little Caesars, McDonald's, Granted,
But
yes, kids are gonna want McDonald's. Kids are
yeah.
gonna want the pizza.
But also, I'll tell you too, like as much as I want my kids to eat healthy and stuff, sometimes, especially with a busy work schedule, or parents are constantly on the go, it's kind of difficult to
Yeah,
just make homemade meals or healthy meals. And unfortunately, fast food is at every fucking corner and
that's
easy to
why
pick
I
up.
keep an emergency carrot in my armrest. Just
Fucking line ass.
no, no. um, what I try to do in my house is now that I've been trying to do is I've been trying to keep only the healthy foods in the house, so
Yeah.
that way I can't be like, well, maybe I'll just have a little bit of
Yeah,
this
no,
today.
we stopped buying chips like a while ago. I mean, of course, there's the parties, the get togethers. That's different. That's like, okay, that's a one off situation. But I stopped buying that shit. I stopped buying the cookies,
And
the
do
stuff like
not
that.
go to the store freaking hungry, okay?
Don't do it.
Because you're gonna be looking
Don't
like,
do it.
what's easy? Those hot
Yeah.
pockets.
Hey, but I do want to give props to Walmart because recently, well, at least the Walmart neighborhood by my house,
Oh, we're not getting a promo at that
they
store.
have they and no, we're not sponsored again. We're not sponsored by anyone. I wish we were. But if y'all listen, Walmart sponsor us. I'm just kidding. But literally, I give them props because they have pre-made salads already ready and they even include a fork in there.
Oh yeah,
How fucking
and
convenient is
the
that?
rotisserie chicken is convenient and
Yes.
healthy because
Yes.
it's chicken rotisserie.
But their salads are fucking bomb.
They are.
I'm over here talking about salad, dude. No, seriously, their
You know what?
salads
Also,
are
they have
fucking
ready
bomb. What?
sandwiches.
No, I know, but obviously, if you're going for a healthier
No,
option,
I
the
know.
salads.
I'm just
I
looking
know.
at
Let
this
me tell
dude.
you, because a lot of people have a misconception of I have to just eat salad when you're on a diet trying to lose weight. No, 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 no. High protein, high protein, high protein. But I'm just saying, if you're on the go, you happen to get down. It's happened to me and my daughter after gymming. We've gone to the store.
Who's Jim?
We've walked in Walmart and it's handy right then, like right there. And I was like, oh my God, they have a fork in here. That's fucking awesome. Like, we can literally eat this on the go while I'm driving. So, they have a variety of salads and they're fucking delicious. Absolutely delicious. So,
That's right. Walmart is always there for me, Asia, in my time of need. Save money,
Walmart,
live better.
better.
Walmart.
Walmart. I was literally about to fucking quote, but literally. They're only like $2 and some change. Or if you get the bigger ones, they're $4 and some change. But still, you can't beat that shit. You go to fucking fast food, a meal is like $10 now.
Have you heard of the scan and go with the Walmart?
They don't accept Apple Pay, but they do have Walmart Pay.
The way you talk about things, you're so passionate. It sounds like an ad. And that's why the last time we did this, I got on the diet.
No.
Because they were like, it really made me feel good. And that's why I use Optavia. Optavia. And I was like, they should just hire you.
No, but when things just work, and I'm just one of those that's like, no, I just want to be.
Passionate.
Yes, I am. And I like to persuade people because it worked for me.
That's how I feel about liquor.
So, yeah.
Vodka. Have you tried it?
Oh my God.
All your problems? Just like that.
Yeah, for the time being. And then you wake up and they're there.
No. But with this vodka,
With a fucking headache.
premium deep eddy vodka.
Premium Deep Eddy lemon vodka. Get it right.
You can dance for hours.
Yep.
Yes. Will your legs hurt in the morning? Yeah.
Your whole damn body will.
Will you forget who you talked to that evening? Yeah. But will you lose your phone only to track it down?
Stop.
Yeah. Will you pull out your? Just kidding.
Stop. Oh my Lord.
No. Funny how like my insecurities go away with vodka.
Oh my God. Stop. I mean, same. Because at that point, you just don't give a fuck. You let it all hang out.
I'm like, yeah, I think. No, but seriously. Obviously, I become more social when I have drinks in me. I'm insecure about talking to other people just because.
That I'm not.
I know. Well, it's part of social anxiety, but
yeah.
But
some of my kids have that. I don't know where the fuck they got that from. Because me and their dad are talkative as fuck.
in me, I'm talking to everybody. I be throwing it back on anything, everything,
Except a woman.
except a woman because I'm allergic. I'm allergic.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You know when people don't like to like eat things, they're like, I'm allergic to that. And it's like not true.
Yes.
Well, I'm allergic to
My
women.
kids, I'm allergic to onions. No, the fuck you're not. Oh god.
Me too.
That's funny.
Well, I don't have any other insecurities other than that because I think other than that I'm perfect. So hard being so pretty all the time.
Oh my
Now,
gosh.
people can barely see me. Detectives have showed up at my place looking for my waist. Haven't seen her yet. Um,
You're so stupid.
no, really, it's hard being me. If you know, you know, and if you don't, sucks to suck.
You know what? I forgot to mention my last insecurity. I'm just kidding. I have a lot. But most recently, my fucking frown line on the middle of my forehead. Dude, I literally want to get Botox. I want to get
That one,
Botox.
every time you bring it up, I'm like, I don't see it.
Dude, it's there. I see
and she's
it.
like, it's right there. And she puts her pinky because
I
the other
fucking,
fingers are too big to.
dude, it's
not
right
cover it.
here. I fucking have it and I hate it. Do not frown. Do not squint.
When you do that, I don't see it.
It's right here. Right here. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. I fucking hate it. I literally want to get Botox, but I'm so scared. So if anyone has any remedies or some type of shit that works for fine lines, let me know because I'm a chicken shit to get Botox. Although I need it.
And if anybody sees me in person and it looks like I can't smile, mind your business. Mind your damn business. Just shut up. Shut the hell up, okay? If I want to look like I can't move my face for any occasion, that's my business, okay? If I start talking like this, that's my business.
You just made me think of how my
because
daughter when she always makes fun of me.
it's because I can't move my face.
When my daughter makes fun of my lips, she says that I talk like that.
So not only am I numb on the inside, I'm also numb in my face. No.
I've become so numb. Sorry.
Karaoke session.
Lincoln Park.
Oh
Oh
man.
god.
I'm trying to think of all my other insecurities because again, I'm just perfect, but I can't find any for now. So I think we'll
No, I
just.
have several, but that's my main one. Is obviously weight. Um,
But here's
weight.
to the good habits that we're picking up
Yes.
from our last episode.
Yeah.
And on that good note, no, that's it. I don't know where I was taking
On that good note, I'm still going to the gym.
We still love ourselves.
I'm still alive.
Don't call therapists on us, okay? But all right, guys, that's all for today. Like we said on the last episode, go ahead and comment any questions that you have for us. One of our future episodes, we're going to be answering some questions from our listeners, from our friends, and we just appreciate the participation.
Yes, and just random questions. Seriously, anything goes. Nothing's too personal.
Some things are a
Whatever.
little too personal, but don't listen to her. There is a line.
Oh my god. No, there's not. Well, not with me.
Don't be asking what color panties I got on. They're just don't ask.
Well, if you must know, do not ask that with me.
All right, we're done. We're gonna get off here. No spoilers. Good night, guys.
Good night. Bye.